Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for February 6th. Okay, looking at the SPY futures, they basically just opened flat once again today. As you can see, we are in a very tight range of consolidation here. We topped out at the 2736 today, and we basically bottomed out and reclaimed real quick at the 2725, right? So, to me, this looks it doesn't give me a reason to trade this right now. The overall market, personally, in my opinion, can really go either way. Just because it's consolidating so tightly, it's kind of in a wedge. If you can see, like a small little wedge here. If I pull up the SPY real quick, you'll understand what I mean by when I say this is not the type of market I really want to be trading right now because of this past 5 days. It basically, the market just ran nonstop, right? But it run on very, very low volume, right? What I personally don't want to long this market right now because it has yet to, it's a little bit overextended, and it has yet to pull back. Also, if I move this line away, we're coming right up to the 200 SMA. So I think there's a lot of fear currently in the overall market. Hence, we see like a very low volume here. Nobody can actually pick a direction right now or decide what they want to do because it can very easily go either way, right? It can pop right up into this 200 SMA tomorrow at the 274 area and then just fail, right? We can pop up and over. Okay, so this 200 SMA area, I'll be watching very closely, and I'll just wait and see what it does from there, right? Personally, I like the short side a little bit more because to me it seems a little bit more logical for the market to have a pullback day, right? Because we did have 5 days in a row now. Now, I'm not saying that the market can't run anymore. I mean, look at this run up, right? This run up basically lasted for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 12 days of run up, right? So the market can definitely keep going, but I'm scared, man. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I wasn't scared because we are coming into 200 right now. It can go either way. So with that said, not really much into trading the overall market-related stocks tomorrow until they decide to pick a decision or a direction. Good thing we are in earnings season. So tomorrow I'll be watching a lot of earnings plays. First up is EA, Electronics Arts. Okay, so they basically had a negative earnings reaction, a very negative earnings reaction. Basically, they lost way over 10% here. The stock is on SSR. They lowered their guidance to a very, very dismal 50-something cents per share. And I think the consensus was like $1.30. Okay, so right now the stock is at 76 and change. What I see when bad earnings reaction happens, I'm looking for a cover pop at the open and then a fail, right? So even though the stock is on SSR right now, I'm still going to try to keep that pop and drop thesis to begin with. Okay, I'm looking at the key psychological area of 77, mark that off as resistance. On the daily chart here, 77 plays very well too. So right there, I'm going to zoom in on a daily chart, right? We have gapped down a lot. The stock after hours did bounce off the 75 mark. So let's come over to the daily chart and show you the 75 mark. It's basically right here, right? So ideally, this would be the target if the first target if it's going to be a pop and drop. Okay. Also, right above here, around the 8250, I do see a key area of support being snapped after hours. Let's zoom in a little. You see this initial drop pop, drop, bounce, and then eventually it just snapped right off, right? So this 8250 becomes a key resistance area, not to mention the psychological whole number of $80 as well. So there's a lot of resistance in the chart, right? I want to mark off 77 and 78.30 to 78.50. So there's that 78.50 and 78.30. Actually, this line right here, 78.30. So right about here. Why did I pick this? Let me see. 78 and change. Oh, yeah. I picked it because of this 5-minute candle here with the highest amount of volume. Okay. It's basically the high of this candle after hours at 5:30 p.m. We have the highs at 78.50. Okay. That's why I picked it. And so basically 2 resistance area I'll be looking for tomorrow, right? It could sell off pre-market tomorrow. If it double bottoms and starts holding the 75 pre-market, then we could, I'll be looking for the first higher low, and we could long it back up, right, to the $80 mark, maybe to the 77 first, and then up to 77.50, and then 78.70s right here. Oh, this is why I picked the 78.30s right here. It's basically this area right here. Okay, so let me shade this. I'll give it a little bit more transparency and you'll see. Okay, so you see these 2 bottom wicks. I'm going to zoom in. See these 2 bottom wicks right here, and then the bottom wick here, and then the closing price here, opening price right up here. So the 78.30s play a key role, and if I were to mark it off as like a zone area, or like a whole area, I'd probably use about 20 cents, so 78.50s. So as long as the stock, if it pops, and I'll be looking for a rejection signal right over here if it reclaims the 77. So EA will be my main watch. Next up is EL, Estee Lauder Company. They announced earnings as well after hours or this morning, and it basically popped really stupid. It's super overextended right now. It's an earnings winner. Intraday trend line I want to draw. Okay. So the intraday trend line is from the 154 area and down, I think. Let me go to the 15-minute chart. Easier to draw here. This one. Right here, this top. I'm very interested in this trend line. Okay. Since it is an earnings winner, I am looking for it to break out and run a second day. However, the stock is very, very overextended. As you can see, a massive gap here. We have major resistance at the 153 area. So if it does reclaim 153, then it's a long to me. 153 is also the VWAP over here. So very interesting. Since it's so overextended, I am watching for a little bit more dip out the gates. You can see I can mark off this pre-market area here. We have a key psychological whole number of 150 and the pre-market high of 150.50, right? So this in itself is a support zone. As long as the stock is holding above this, there is still a long bias to the stock because it's an earnings winner. On the daily chart here, you can draw a major long-term trend line, downtrend line here, and it connects a little bit to the 150.50s area, to the 150 area, right? It's basically a breakout of the 150. So yeah, gonna look for a dip. If the stock holds, its pre-market highs from this morning, then look for a rip back up. My first target, probably 153, right? If it gaps up in the morning, or if it does all this in the pre-market, then I'll have to replan my thinking. Also gonna be watching for double top here at this level. I think it's 157.5. Let me see. Oh, it's 157. So also we'll be watching for a double top at 157 for the short idea, just because it's so overextended, and the double top and the pullback makes sense as well. So that's EL. Estee Lauder. IQ is my next watch here. IQ, as you can see, it basically from the start of the year just ran nonstop. It's supposed to announce earnings according to Vinvis after hours today, but I wasn't able to find any earnings report, so maybe tomorrow morning. Anyways, very easy chart to read though. I mean, we are coming up into kind of like a key cup and handle top area at 2180s. Okay, the closing price is at 2160s. Okay, which is very near today's highs at 2150s. Right. So I have a lot of key chart resistance here. Currently, I'm looking for a pop and drop type of scenario. For a pullback, it's a little bit overextended from the 9 EMA. And for example, what happened when it gets overextended on 9 EMA? Let's see. Look at this day. And the next day, it gapped down, sold off, and bounced back up. And then it consolidated very close back to the 9 EMA, popped. Next day, open sideways, pop and drop, and then consolidated 9 EMA. And today, pop. So I'm looking for a sideways, or yeah, kind of like a sideways drop and pop, or pop and drop. Either way, I have resistance and support marked off. Okay, we have $21, which is yesterday's highs. We can move this up a little bit. Oh, okay, so basically anywhere from 21 to 2110 is a support zone. Yeah, I like that. 2110 would be giving it a little bit too much. All right, let's say 2105. So we have a key support zone of 5 cents over here. As long as this holds, the stock remains bullish. I'm looking for a dip at the open tomorrow, and we'll see if this 21 area holds. If it does, then take it out for a rip. First target this 2150 here, and then watch these resistance areas. Okay. Finally, I have Facebook. This chart, although very overextended on the daily chart, it looks like it's still very bullish. Okay. Once again, we are in a wedge. So tomorrow morning, I'll be marking off this downtrend line, as well as I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There's a very predominant uptrend line over here. Okay. So how will this work? Yeah, okay, right here. Okay, around this area. Okay, give or take. So we're in a very, very tight wedge right now. We have support here at the 170 area, 170 to 169, which is a whole dollar, I understand. But with Facebook being able to make so much range, 169.80s. Okay, so 20 cents support area. Okay, looking for a dip to hold and rip again. And then we have key support, key resistance at 172, looking for double topping action. Okay, scrolling out a little bit here on the daily chart. I'm gonna mark off the 172 right there. And then if it breaks out, we can get all the way up to here, this area. As you can see, we have a little gap to fill here, all the way up to 175. Okay, from when? September 4th, and yeah, September 4th, August 31st. So if it breaks out, excuse me, I'm gonna watch for 175. Okay, so that's basically my watches for now. Tomorrow at the open, we also have Spotify announcing earnings, as well as Lilly, LLY. This is a pharmaceutical company, a major pharmaceutical company, announcing earnings as well as Take-Two Interactive. So this is kind of like a TTWO. This is like a gaming company, and they will be announcing earnings as well. TTWO. Let me check the news real quick. Did they already announce? No, they haven't announced yet. But tomorrow morning they will be announcing. So I'll be watching these three tomorrow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tickers in play. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Ciao.